Sweet, it's Dyno Day. Exactly how much horsepower does the Supercharged C5 make? Up until now, I really don't know for sure, but with the help of Moe's Performance out of Blaine, Minnesota, we're gonna strap the Supercharged C5 to their dyno jet and find out. Now, since we're gonna have it on the dyno jet anyway, even though I'm fairly certain I've got the C5's tune dialed in from all of those trips to Rock Falls, I'm gonna bust out HP tuners and add a little bit of ignition timing on the top end to see if we can eke out just a little bit more horsepower. This is gonna be a super fun episode that you're not gonna wanna miss. So come along and we'll get started next.
Toys4Life.
Dyno Day is fun day, so bring a friend or two. Ben's here early, and so is my son, Jamie. Here with Mo. He is co-owner of Moe's Performance. I think he got the better end of the deal, though, because your name's out on the sign. But tell us a little bit about Moe's Performance, what kind of services you offer, and on any given day, what kind of cars do you typically have in your shop?
We have the dyno jet here, and it's a four-wheel dyno. We offer like tuning or just like, baseline bolts, and we offer also a fuel injector cleaning, and also we are a full performance shop. So we can install from bolt-ons to, a custom turbo kit if you would like, and also if you want to tune your own car, you can rent the dyno from us.
Man, they've got it figured out. One size truly doesn't fit all, and renting the dyno and tuning my own car, that's the option for me. I think I probably flapped my gums enough, so if you don't mind, your guys have been setting up my car, and I'm just going to wander around and kind of see how they got it strapped down and what everything looks like when it's properly set up on the dyno.
Sounds good.
All right, so Moe's inside my C5. It's been sitting a little while we've been talking, so he's going to bring everything slowly up to operating temperature, because obviously you don't want to be doing wide open throttle pulls to 6,500 with a cold engine. So Sam here is doing a diligent job checking to make sure all of the straps are tensioned properly, because once you start moving the vehicle, things loosen up a little bit. And they've got a crisscross pattern going back here and two straight back. So it comforts me to know how secure my vehicle is strapped down and the attention to detail that Sam's giving. Continue on with the warm-up a little bit while we look at the front end. This is strapped down as well, anchored to the floor. Got a blower blowing cold air right at the intercooler, and here's the driver's side hold down. But now we notice a small problem. The inductive pickup is not sensing the engine RPM. But luckily this has an easy solution. Sam will just go and adjust the inductive pickup lead on the coil wire, and soon we'll be ready for a pull. Now I'm just going to reach in and stop my laptop, which has been scanning the entire run. I'll take a quick look to see if we have any knock and see what my wideband says the air-fuel ratio was. Then of course it's time to look at the screen and see what kind of power we made. That's a little bit more than I was expecting at 566 horsepower and 533 pound-feet of torque. I gotta ask, what's the most horsepower you've ever had anybody put down on your dyno jet?
There is a couple that I can't say.
Top secret stuff.
But there is one, it was public known. It's a drag racing car, and it was made 1600.
That get pretty noisy?
Really?
Okay, so on that pull, I had about 1 degree of knock at 3,700 RPMs. And my air-fuel ratio was about 0.77 lambda, which is around 11.3 to 1 if you're thinking in gas terms. So I'm going to just take out about a half a degree of timing here, and I'm going to add a half a degree everywhere else.
dude, it's so freaking fast. Like, my brain still feels scrambled.
Time to take a look at the graph and see if it liked the extra timing or not. Survey says yes, picked up 17 horsepower. Let's take a look at the scan. All right, we had about a half a degree of knock at 4,300 RPMs. And then the air-fuel ratio stayed pretty consistent at about 0.78 lambda, which is right around 11.5 to 1 if you're thinking in gas terms. So I'm going to go ahead and take out a half a degree here, and once again add a half a degree everywhere else. And with the Dyno Jet, is there a maximum horsepower before bad things start to happen?
Dyno Jet advertised this one to read any horsepower. We are just limited to a wheel speed. So for a rear wheel drive, we can go to up to 200 miles. And if it's four wheel drive, we can go to 180.
Okay. What happens when you hit 200? Does it just stop?
You get a warning in the screen, and it's going, the dyno will go to panic mode.
That's not good.
Nope.
Looks like we picked up 2 more horsepower, which isn't bad for a stock bottom end. Stock exhaust manifold, stock cam LS1. Once again, we're at about a degree of knock at 4,000 RPMs. The air-fuel ratio is staying right around that 0.78 lambda or 11.5 on gas scale, so that's fine. Ignition timing, this is more than I've ever run. 18.5 degrees, no knock in this area. But to be fair, it's a pretty cold day out. Inlet air temps are only 69 degrees, so that probably helps get 18.5 degrees of timing. So my viewers know if they live within an hour or two of here, basically they can just go to your website or give you a call, make an appointment, and you're open to do dyno testing on pretty much anybody's vehicle,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, you can. Anybody is welcome. You can just go to our website or give us a call, schedule a session for a baseline or just like an hour of dyno rental, and for any car, any front wheel, rear wheel, or four wheel.
So Mo's going to go over the control here for the Dyno Jet, and looks like a TV remote to me, but he says there's more functionality to it. Is that right?
Kinda. So
right.
Red the brake, green is recording.
So the red actually in the rollers,
that's actually,
it will apply a brake down
so
there.
it's an air brake right now. So now they will like roll freely.
So that helps obviously slow it down at the end of the run. Okay.
So now I hit the brake again. When I'm ready to in the car, and if we are ready to record the run, we just hit the green. That will be recording, and when we end the top RPM, we just like red again, which stop the run. These mouse buttons kind of like, so I can actually move between if you go there, I can move between these.
Oh, you can control the screen.
Yep, control the screens, and this one is like if there is like an error or something, it will flash.
Okay. Yeah. Well, cool. Most of the people that watch my channel are Corvette guys, so if they want to go a step further and talk to you about having someone tune it, you guys have a good LS1, LS6, LS7, basically all the different Corvette engines. Do you have a tuner that can handle pretty much whatever a Corvette owner might want?
Yes, for sure. We are actually a big fan of Corvettes here. We installed bolt-on Supercharged, and we tuned them all here. We just did actually a C7 a couple of weeks ago that we upgraded the Supercharged for it and tuned the car.
All right, guys, we did all 3 pulls. I'm super pumped with almost 600 horsepower, but it's all in one piece. It was a great time, Mo. You guys are a professional group of guys, a fantastic shop, and I very much appreciate your having us here today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.